Oh, boy. It's that time once again from the basement of 70 James Street. A little good times with Goodney tonight. I am here with one of my all-time favorites who has already started bitching about the amount of smoke in the studio. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know him, he is the... are you co-owner? What's the deal with Ben's Tackle Shack?
Yes.
I know you own Go Fish by Dan because that's you.
That's me.
Because you're Dan. But Ben's Tackle Shack, are you considered co-owner, main owner? Because I know Ben, who is your son, who has just been blowing it up.
Right.
He's been blowing it up. I got to tell you, he's throwing a shadow on you.
Yeah. So I own the New England Fishing Expo.
We're going to get into that. We're not there
I'm saying
yet.
he owns the Disc Golf Expo. And
which he just killed it this past weekend.
We both co-own the tackle store.
That's awesome. So you decided to co-own a tackle shop in Leicester, Massachusetts, with your son, but you both have now your own expos, and you and I go way, way back, and I always love seeing the Ben's Tackle Shack because I just know where you are any given day selling Chinas and all the other stuff that you do. When we started out this little podunk production of, actually, you started long before I got you. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Dan Kenney.
That's right. I'm here.
Finally.
Let's go.
Finally. What time, hey, Dan, what time are we supposed to be here?
I'm only...
It's okay. Listen, I remember I used to be late all the time, and you'd get mad at me, and you'd be flustered for a few hours. We couldn't film because you'd be pissed at me.
True story.
Yeah. So you and I have known each other from the, we met through LCAC, which is Leicester Cable Access Channel.
Right.
And you asked me if I wanted to help you do a fishing show.
Correct.
Which was Go Fish by Dan. But now you'd had many different people who had helped you prior to that. But I came in, and I think did I stay the longest? Was I your longest cameraman? And
absolutely.
Oh, we had
without even not even close, because it's Go Fish Dan, and it was productions, but then I dropped the productions because technology wise, and everybody started getting YouTube on their phones and yada yada yada. So Go Fish Dan traveled around the country. Goodtimes with Goodney. That name fits you to a T because you were with me for the longest time, doing camera work, doing audio. We've had the highs, the lows. We've had like falling.
I have changed your life.
Yeah, you did.
My philosophies in life changed you slightly.
No, but just think about the road trips and the
dude. We had so much fun for so many years.
Yeah, good.
I don't want it to end. I don't want it to end. I really don't. And we usually manage to do 1 or 2 trips a year.
Yep.
But there was years that we were doing 7, 8 trips a year. It was like every other weekend. You'd be like, Goodney, we got to go up to Newfound Lake. Goodney, we're going. I'm like, Jesus Christ, this guy can't catch fish to save his fucking life. But I need the money, and he's fun. And we had some great snacks. We met some amazing people. And then, what was it? So are we on like the 10-year anniversary of the last time the New England Fishing Expo was in Worcester?
Correct.
It is a 10-year, isn't it?
Yep.
2025, because it was 2015. That was the year that was such a shit show with snow, and you got a blizzard. You were working for Davis, I think, at the time. I'm sorry if I drop any names.
That was the year before.
Okay. So, oh, wait a minute. Did you do your first year?
I did the first year at DCU as well. That was the blizzard year.
That was the blizzard. The whole fucking weekend was gone.
Governor shut down the road. Deval Patrick was on the news.
Yeah, Thursday afternoon. They're like, yep, sorry, no one's moving till Tuesday. And you're like,
exactly.
You motherfuckers.
It was my first show.
You couldn't say that, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that. I remember that. And we talk about shaking a guy. Well, hey, imagine saying, wife and kids, you had young kids at the time, because we both did about that time. I mean, 10 years earlier. And you're like, yeah, I'm working out. I'm doing this shit. We got this thing. And I had to...
Yeah.
Snowstorm.
Yep.
And it was a good blizzard, if I remember correctly.
29.5 inches.
That'll do it.
To be exact.
That'll wipe out a weekend.
And do you know that the reason I have that figure in my head is because I lost out of my pocket about $1,000 an inch.
Some people pay that.
30 grand.
$1,000 an inch.
Snap
but now
look
at that.
The weather. Snap of a finger.
Dude,
30 grand.
No, it's crazy because actually I know a lot of businesses, because even I think, because at the same time I was here at, what was called the Ranch, and we had every weekend for like an entire month wiped out. And that'll put you on your ass if you're a business. But if you're a one weekend of a fucking year event like you were.
3 days.
Dude, I remember that. And I'm like, oh my God, please help Dan. It was like, remember Wonderful Life when all those like, there was people, Jerry Mattson from Webster.
Right.
He's like, please God, help Dan Kenney. He's such a great guy. And it was that year. But then you moved it. Was it that year you moved it out to Boxborough?
No, I did one more at the DCU.
Okay. And how did that go?
That one went better, but it didn't even bring me back to to square one.
I was still looking for freaking cans on the side of the road.
Right. At year
Once
2.
again, just in case you don't know, we are talking about the New England Fishing and
Expo.
Outdoor Expo. You call it Outdoor Expo now, right? But it was the New England Fishing Expo. It used to be done at the
Vice
DCU
versa.
Center and even the Centrum years ago.
Yep. It's the New England Fishing Expo. I dropped the outdoor
Oh, did you?
when I moved it from Worcester and over to Boxborough. So I did 2 years at the DCU Center. First year was the blizzard, shut down, lost a lot of money, painful. Second year,
Like going to prison.
yeah, didn't even break even. So I didn't.
No, I remember that year. We talked a lot that next year because going through our next filming season.
Right.
Because we went through our next filming
Right.
season right after. Because you were working, I think, maybe for Dexter Knives at the time.
Yeah,
or,
helping them with sponsors and doing knives and
which, by the way, unbelievable knives. Even
Yeah.
still to this day, I'm sure they're still great out there in the great town of Sturbridge, Southbridge area.
both
right.
towns now.
Both towns.
They moved to a new building in Sturbridge.
There you go.
So
So they're doing their thing.
Yeah.
You're falling apart. Life's fucking kicking you in the teeth.
oh no, it was good after. I mean, hey, just like in your business. I mean, that's what they say in business. It takes you 3 years to get off the ground, right?
Yeah. Well, it's funny you say. So I was talking to Jay, the producer, tonight, early before we started, and I said, I don't know if you know this, but everybody that I've had in now so far that's been on the podcast always they all created their own destinies. None of them work for other companies. None of that. I've had a woman who decided to become her own, sommelier, sell wine and talk about wine because she loved it. I've had ghost hunters that came in. I've got comedians that have come in. The only one really that was Chuck and Jamie Two Shits, two of my best friends. But Two Shits, she makes money and Chuck's a truck driver, so just stay out of his fucking way. You worked for a big company. Had a great friggin' little setup for yourself there. And then all of a sudden, because I remember we used to take those road trips and we used to pray to Jesus that our lives would be okay. Because you're like, what the hell am I going to do now? I'm like, yeah, I'm going to tell you, you can't catch fish worth shit. So I don't know what you're going to do there. You got this show called Go Fish with Dan. And what was the name? What did I call your show?
I vaguely recall. I was trying to forget, but I guess I have to say vaguely now because you just brought it to the forefront of my mind that you used to call it No Fish with Dan Kenney.
And why would I call it No Fish with Dan Kenney?
Because we had days when we struggled, we'll say. We struggled. But there were good days too. It wasn't we struggled, sir.
Dan,
wait.
If I can recall for a second.
I got video.
What was the
catching
new
a lot of
mantra?
fish.
What was the new mantra we had to adapt as the Go Fish motto, which was when we went out, it was we catch what we catch.
we film what we film.
That was the way, because it got to the point that there were times you would catch fish and I was so fucking just not paying attention that I wouldn't get it on film.
And
you used to get so mad at me.
Oh, this is great stuff too because
It's not as good as missing a bird
aside,
6 feet out of your window.
We've caught some great fish. Both
You
of
have.
us.
Oh,
and
just even at that times. No, we've had some great.
we've caught
shows.
some great fish.
We
but
almost died on Lake Erie.
We did. The ones that the struggle is real, like they say. When you go out and you leave a real job and then we're doing this and trying to make a little bit of money, but you go there and it is fishing to this day. Sometimes you do okay and sometimes
The
it's a
weather
struggle.
likes to cooperate sometimes and it
Weather,
doesn't.
Everything. But
You and I had, oh my God, so
we
many
had
times.
an 8-hour day, 10-hour day, filming 3 fish, no fish, whatever. But then we've had the opposite. We've had,
The greatest part
Yeah.
was no matter what we did, we always
laughed.
had fun.
We laughed.
We did.
Had a great time.
And you're on the water.
Yeah, that makes it better.
It's a great time. You're just sitting there chilling. The sound of nothing is amazing. We've been to some places where like nobody's in three.
No.
We went down a log road one time for like 2.5 hours with a guy I wouldn't
There's
trust.
nobody there.
You know, to fucking just deliver my groceries, and we were on 2 hours away from civilization on a log road.
I was looking at the gas gauge the whole time.
Well, there's been times he's trying to text me from the front seat going, holy shit, where are we? Oh, it's crazy. And then we're out there and it's just incredible. I still have that one panoramic shot where you got the moon on this side, you got the sun setting on this side, and this incredible lake. We saw some amazing sights with some crazy characters.
But the listeners also need to know that I didn't technically text you holy SH words that I don't say.
You're very you are my most religious friend.
Yeah, that was a Goodney
word.
You
are most.
But I probably said like, oh wow, or I may have said
for the purposes of
for your story you can.
We're
but I could have said, or maybe I said, holy cow.
This is coming from a man who's very afraid that his wife's going to see this podcast, and we both love Lovey. Because still to this day, some of the best. Do not spit on my mic, you asshole! I cannot believe you just spit all over the floor. You're an asshole. You're the first. You're an asshat. I can't believe you just spit all over the floor. That is the third or fourth time I have made you spit because you knew what I was going to say. You already knew the story I was going to talk about.
Yes, I did. That's why it's not even funny to these other people because they
have no idea what story in my mind that I'm telling.
I know.
Do you want me to tell a story now?
You can. But I just had water come out my nose.
You're such a shithead. Honestly,
it's only water.
I can't believe. Can we? I don't have a budget for this.
Can we cut?
I don't have a budget for cleanup. What the fuck? Honest to God. You and I have had don't take another sip, asshole. Okay. You got it? All right. So anyway, we're not going to tell that story.
No.
But it was a great story about Lovey, who is your wife, who is, I don't know how she deals with you. I've said that 100 times. Honest to God, you're such a nudge. I can't. There are times, honest to God, we would show up to gigs and we would meet people for the first time, and he and I would bicker like husband and wife. We were good together. People loved how funny it was.
They loved the entertainment.
But the problem is Dan is a type A personality, and I am
not.
I don't think we've typed my personality yet. However, Dan wants, he has certain rules. This is how we want things. But for me, I'm like, I could be on this boat for 6 hours, and you may not even hook into a fucking branch. And I would be like, so let me do what I do. You have fun. And it would be like I had to create this atmosphere on the boat where we would just have a good time. And the more fun you had, the more fish you caught. But I will say this. You never caught as many fish as you would as if I went against you. If you and I went head to head, the second you and I went head to head, you used to love it. Because I'd get ahead of you real quick. And then you'd always start piling them on in the end. And I'd be like, this motherfucker.
I like the competition.
Right, but you couldn't catch shit while I was filming there all day for fucking 9 hours in a boat.
Maybe we should have changed the format of the show. Back then.
Hey, we're still young. We're still young. We can
do
do this someday.
We have to go to Maine. Well, we went to, first of all, we've been to the Midwest.
Yes.
The West.
Yeah.
As far south as you can go.
That was a good. I was actually talking about. We had New Orleans. We had New Orleans all the way over to Pensacola. As a matter of fact, I had crawfish the other day.
Right.
And the first thing I thought, remember that trip?
Yeah.
Neither one of us expected that.
But then we went down to the Keys.
Pensacola. By the way,
back up.
Our friend there from Pensacola was the charter fishing. Oh God, I just saw his thing the other day. But anyway, they get 7 inches of snow.
Yeah.
Imagine that. We stayed on that boat. That was a fantastic time.
Yeah.
We've stayed in some great places, honestly, God. We've stayed in, shit places. But one thing I didn't know about you, when we first started out, was how bad you snore.
Yeah.
I almost killed you 3 or 4 times until I realized just bring earplugs.
You could have just asked Lovey.
We weren't that close. She's like, "Who's this guy going with you away for a long time?" Actually, you know what? I've never seen anyone so happy to see someone pull out of a driveway before in my life, as Lovey used to when we were taking our trips.
We did learn that you have the
It doesn't
need
matter
for
how
fans.
doesn't matter how close you are to a bird, you can still miss it.
Yeah, we've learned that. But you have fans and earplugs, and then you have earbuds on top of your earplugs. So yeah, I snore a little bit. And when you're in a remote cabin in the middle of nowhere,
And the only other sound
correct,
is this bear.
so you don't have that white noise. Which
Well, I did. And then what ended up happening was I would show up. Now I had a bag with my clothes, bag with the camera gear, and bag with the sound deafening that I need. I do the earplugs, a set of headphones, and a fucking fan to draw out the goddamn grizzly bear that was sleeping next to me.
okay,
But so many fun trips though. Oh my God.
yeah,
We've met, well, I know you've met way more than I have, but I mean, we've met some Bassmaster pros.
oh yeah,
And of course, one of your best friends for the longest time in the world, guy I knew for forever, ends up winning this past Mark Burgess
Yes.
with his win.
yeah,
That was insane.
yeah,
I'm like, that was the first time I think I've ever been like, I know him.
yeah. Nice guy.
Great guy. And he started the expos with you when you
Yeah.
first moved out, and you said, okay, can't keep doing the DCU because that
Right.
was like a what, $700,000 nut.
Yeah, that was
a big nut.
That was a big nut to cover.
And then you know what? You brought it down though. You scaled it all the way back. You went to the Boxborough Regency Hyatt for how many years?
Well, Boxborough Regency, no Hyatt.
No Hyatt. I don't know why I threw that on there, but I know you're worried about getting sued there. So
No.
good. Hyatt would want their money. Fuck them.
So Mark Burgess, yeah, he's a good friend of mine, and we did work together on the expo, and that's why I changed it from the Fishing and Outdoor Expo because the DCU Center was going downhill that show. They used to let in a lot of junk. So no other way to say it. They let in a lot of garbage. So we changed it to New England Fishing Expo, and I talked to Mark and a few of my other friends, and I said, well, I'm really all about fishing, so let's scale it down and focus on what we know the best and love it. So that's what we did. And that formula has worked to this day.
Oh, it was great. We did it. I mean, for how many years? I remember being out there. I think every year. We had a couple of snow bags.
7. We
had
did for 7.
couple of snow bags that didn't go well.
Yeah.
You know, but they only ruined usually a day or two. They didn't ruin the entire weekend. Like that year that it was at the DCU.
Snow makes people angry when they're trying to make money.
It does. I know.
The only people that are happy in snowstorms are what? Plow guys.
Salters.
Yeah.
And people who get to stay home with pay.
That's it.
The rest of us who make money because you come out.
Yeah. No good.
We're home just
Yeah.
kicking the cat.
Yep.
That's why I don't have cats anymore.
But it's
They
been
only
good.
fly so hard.
Knock on glass over wood.
It's plastic. It's a solid plastic. It's I think it's like 35 mil. I don't think it is, but it's pretty thick mil. But yeah, but even then, I mean, I remember all those years of doing that, and you had some great people come in and do
All the
and do
big shots,
talks.
the
All the big
celebrities,
shots,
the big pros.
You never
they
got
still
up there,
come
did
in.
you? Do you get up there and talk anymore? You never did.
No, I do the like intro to the show.
Just the intro to the show.
Like
Thank you.
I do the like the feel good, like, hey, everybody's
It
happy.
became a
let's have
party, though.
great
It became a
show.
family out there
it
every
is.
year.
It really is a family.
Yeah.
To this day, all the vendors are
Because now
thrilled.
you've moved to Marlboro.
Yeah. It's
And
great.
it's a huge show.
Yeah.
Huge show.
Yep.
And that was the first time I was ever introduced to people camping out front for a swim bait.
Yep.
Never thought I'd see anything like that.
Happens all the time.
Oh yeah, now it does. Yeah. I think the first few years we did it didn't happen, but now all of a sudden, I remember you telling me last year people were there 2 days early
Yeah. Some cases 3
to just
to get a bait, a certain bait. Yeah.
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 Talk about that.
Well,
What's that like now? Don't you wish you could make that kind of bait? Speaking of which, I've heard you've made a boat cave for yourself.
Yes.
Maybe it's time to start producing your own lures.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe your own swim baits.
Well, the swim bait guys, it's it's obviously a supply and demand market, but also there's some really good craftsmen who have made these out of wood. They're beautiful works of art. They catch really big fish. So that's the driving force behind the swim bait guys. And when they've risen to the top based on the quality of their products, they can only produce them in limited supply.
Yeah.
So
Well, because they're hand painting them.
Everything.
They're whittling these fucking things down.
right. So just caveman math. If they do 250 in a year,
I mean, we all
they
have.
can drive the price up.
You think about it. I mean, how many times have you? We love Lovey.
Yeah.
Lovey's a great girl. How many times has she ever said, "I'm enough, Dan. Come on." Now here's a guy who's cutting a swim bait. He's sitting there.
Yeah.
What are you doing down there?
Yeah.
Fuck the swim baits.
Yeah.
Had enough, honey. These things get $400 every.
600.
Some of them get sick money.
Yeah.
$400 to $600
And
a swim bait.
it's a game that they flip them, so they buy it.
Is it like Pokemon cards yet?
Yeah, but I've never understood this. And if any of the swim bait guys do end up seeing this,
what are you saying? They're all gonna
I
see
guess it'll be okay because I don't really understand it to this day because they could just get a job doing something else than camping for 3 days for a swim bait to purchase it and then list it on eBay and try to make an extra $1,000.
Is it
Like
that
think about
big?
it. Or,
Is it that big?
Yeah. But if you could do that, it's the vibe of doing it is I think why they do it.
Well, yeah, to have something that no one else has,
yeah.
or only a select few people have.
And then have it for a little while and then sell it to make a
I'm
profit.
thinking to myself, if I lose so many baits, trees,
Right.
underwater logs, I think there's mermaids and stuff that grab them and pull them out and cut it right off.
Well, you may lose them also because you don't change the line in your Zebco 202.
I've outfished you in that Zebco 33. So
Oh,
fuck
is it
you.
33
It's a
Rhino
Zebco
now?
fucking
You
33.
upgraded.
Shut your ass up,
Is
all
that
right?
is that the wall bar version?
It
or
doesn't
the,
matter.
or-
Walmart sponsors it, but the Zebco closed
33.
reel. He gets so mad at me. He gets so mad at me because I have outfished him with a closed reel
Rhino.
fucking Zebco. I'll never forget. So I remember the one time I took your spinning rod. What was it? It was your
Baitcaster.
bait caster. And he goes, "Hey, be careful." He goes, "I hope you know how to do that." Shut up, Dan.
Destroyed.
He
Yeah.
goes, "Yeah, that's what I was afraid of."
Destroyed.
It was gone.
Yeah.
It was gone. I didn't know you had to thumb the line.
Yeah.
It just seemed
Adjust
cool.
it.
Yeah. I don't know why they don't make those a little bit more like Zebcos.
Well,
You let it go till it hits, and then you find it just fucking stops.
You had-
this thing I had to thumb the line. Like, that's just silly.
well, you know what's
When the
great?
technology's there, Dan.
No, but think about what we just went in a
That's called
not
the
even a full
ADD.
circle, but yeah, we did. But think about we're talking about thousands of dollars for these lures in catching fish, but
And
then
I
you
catch
just
fish
caught
on
them
a
on a
freaking $23
exactly
Zebco
$19.99
33.
$23 combo, and you caught some nice fish with that.
Telling you, what's my kids even hate this.
Yeah.
What is the most famous thing I do when I catch a fish? To say I didn't catch a fish. My sons say it all the time. Every time Christopher said it one time, the last time we went out to fish, he goes, when my father says he doesn't have a fish, he has a fish.
Yeah.
And sure enough, I'm like, fuck, I got the bottom of something. Remember the one I pulled out? I think it was Quabbin. We were out at Quabbin one day. It was me, you, who's the guy that does the baits? Jimmy?
No, Rich.
No.
I think he's a Rich too.
No. Is he rich? No.
Oh, Jimmy.
Jim,
Yes.
yeah, he
Yeah,
does
yeah,
the
Loaded for
spongy
bass
bass. Yes,
guy.
loaded for bass.
Yes.
And we pulled up. We were
Marco.
filming. Yeah, Jim Marco.
Marco.
Yes.
Yes.
We were pulling up, and I go, I got fucking bought. And it did. It had weeds and shit on it. In my defense, and then it ended up being a huge fish.
Yeah.
And you're like, this. I can't stand it. Every time he says he doesn't have a fish, it's usually my sons say the same thing, and it is true. I'll usually thought I had a fish. I don't have a fish, and then I have a fish.
Caught some nice ones.
We've had some fucking
Well-
great, even just some of the filming.
Some of the filming's been great, but some of the funny stuff that we have shared is that I remember this vividly. You're in the little tin rowboat, like trailing me and Patrick when I was fishing in his boat.
Yeah,
And
this was up
Yeah.
for
yeah, up in Maine, up next to Canada.
yes, it is. But the
Spednick.
show is Yeah, but what do we call that show? That show is the oh my God, why can't I think of the name of the show?
Well, Patrick from Wheaton's Lodge.
Wheaton's Lodge. So it's our Wheaton Lodge shows.
Right. So we did a few of them.
We do.
Up there.
We have quite a few of them up there.
Right.
Yep.
But that one in particular, and again, these things are probably only funny to us, but you're filming.
Watch them and they're funny.
You got your Zebco Rhino 33, whatever it was, and you flip it off the back, and I'm filming and struggling, and we're going down the shoreline, and I look back, and you got a smallie like 4.5 pounds, like jumping out of the water, coming back up over there. You're not even holding.
I'm not filming you whatsoever. You're just fucking fishing away. I'm pulling fish in.
Right.
I'm like,
what?
holy shit. You turn around and go, well, it's Goodney got a fucking fish. And I'm in my own rowboat. So, funny story about that time I had this special boat, the dinghy, if you will. For a lot of time, I was filming for you, and you didn't know that I smoked the devil's lettuce. And we went back and forth. You didn't know for the longest time, and I'll never forget. It was when we were up there at Wheaton Lodge, and I had that boat. I had the last.
You disappeared.
No, I used to disappear on you all the time. I'm like, yeah, we're gonna get some B-roll, and I'd take off, get stoned. Because, dude, you can only sit in a boat so long and not catch fish.
They need to
And
know
be
that I had
fucking-
no idea.
You had no idea. You had no idea. It was funny because when I first told you, you're like, no, you just started that. I'm like, damn, please tell me you knew. You blind son of a bitch. You're like, no, I just thought Jesus was trying to help you through life or whatever. And so I will never forget, I was sitting there, and it was that day I had the last bit of weed I had. It was because I had short myself on the trip, which stressed me out a lot, just so we're clear. Stressed me out a lot. Because going on long trips, you were very anal. Like
Yeah,
you
I
add weight.
am.
You know, but listen, we got along. We're still friends today.
yeah.
But God, I wanted to just throw you overboard a lot of times. And so we're there, and
But was it a pound, or did you?
it wasn't a pound, because if it wasn't a pound, the wind wouldn't have done what it did. So the wind
No,
grabbed.
when you said you were short, though, is it because you brought less than a pound of weed?
I just brought less than I needed for the trip. And as we did
Because
these
I
shows,
say that because
as
that
we did these
backpack.
shows together, I used to have to bring more and more because I'd be like, okay,
That was my point. I
I
saw the
can
backpack.
only-
I said, "Is that all weed?"
I can only sit in a boat when two people don't catch fish all day for so long.
Well,
Before I have to smoke again. So as long as I smoked, I was great. I'd be like, oh my God. Remember, I'd be like, look at that. It's a tree.
right.
I loved nature so much. But we were there that day. I was in the little tin rowboat, which had a motor on it. You were in the canoe. And the wind grabbed my bag of weed. It grabbed it and it went airborne. And I knew we had like 2 or 3 days left of this shit. And I'm like, no! And so the bag is, so it's in a plastic bag. So you got weed, you got a bud that's still in a plastic. Just stop that. First of all, that's patchouli. Patchoulio. That's patchoulio.
You know, I'm allergic to smoke.
You're not allergic to smoke. You're just a nudge, and it's you like
So
talking like rain.
your bag of weed did go flying.
Airborne.
Yep.
Airborne. Yeah, I'm watching it. I'm like, I'm trying now. I rev the engine up. I'm circling this bag of weed as it's in the air. You're yelling to me. I can hear you in my headset because you got your microphone on. I'm like, what the fuck is he doing? You didn't say fuck because I know you don't.
Yeah.
But you go like, what the hell is he doing over there? And I'm doing donuts because I'm trying to get the boat back to grab the bag
I
of
saw
whatever's
you
left.
doing the donuts.
Dude, I grabbed what was left of that weed, and it was and it got a little wet. So then I'm sitting over there on the freaking thing, trying to get this little pipe fucking smoked up and lit and dried out. And he's like, I got a fish. I'm like, go fuck yourself. I've been waiting 9 hours for this shit. And he goes, I got a fish. You don't have a fish. How many times did you say?
You missed
fish?
a lot of fish.
I never missed a lot of fish. I missed a
devil's
lot of you
lettuce.
grabbing no,
No.
you'd grab logs. How many beats did you lose?
We're going down a road where, one, we use Goodney language. which I don't use.
You
but
cannot
keep
use
trying,
Goodney language.
So you try to say that I'm saying
I will
these
tell
curse
you,
words,
Vinny, you did a great job, Lovey,
which I don't curse.
taking care of this kid. And so it's the same with mom and dad.
But the
Mom and Dad get
weed
good.
thing, though,
What?
because this was like pre
Legalization.
legalized in Massachusetts and in Maine or wherever. And
I know you used to
the
tell
first
people.
time
I have a friend.
found out
I have a friend
that I was
uses.
transporting.
That's
That's
right.
that's what I'm saying.
You pulled over the truck.
I was so upset.
We got pulled over. You pulled over.
I'm like, I
in
can't
New
get
Hampshire.
arrested.
In New Hampshire, like I could get.
I said, you have that stuff in your backpack? And you were like, yes. And I'm like, I can't get arrested for you carrying this stuff on a fishing trip. Go ahead, let's tell those stories, Chris. Petrified. I've never been in trouble in my life.
No, you're absolutely right. You were. It is funny that you say that because I think now
Because there was a lot in there.
No, there was not a lot. There was never a pound.
Well, I don't know how it works,
No,
but
I know you didn't. That's why you were so worried. You were like, Chris, how much? I remember one time we were on the trip and you just kept asking me how much is in there. I go, enough to get me, you, and a few friends high.
But I never knew how much does that mean.
Right. And you're like, well, I'm going to go to jail. I go, just drive the speed limit. You'll be fine. Remember the time I put, what's his name, Nunites? So one time, my friend Dan, we were always good as long as it was just you and me.
Yeah.
I never had a problem with that. Then every once in a while, you'd have a third wheel that would be there that came with us. And I wasn't expecting. And then you brought a third wheel one time. And that third wheel happened to be a little bit of a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, that didn't go too well for us. As a matter of fact, we pissed off a pro that day, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
But anyway, I told you that weed, devil's lettuce, had the power of making people go to nights that were of problem to you. And you go, what do you mean? And I go, watch this. And within 2 minutes after taking something, the guy was completely asleep in the back seat.
True
For another 3.5 hours up to Maine.
Yeah.
And I go, that's what I used to do to my kids. No, I never did that to my kids.
Right.
But it was similar to that. And you were like, wow, that stuff's potent, huh? Right. And I go, don't let me blow it in your face. You'll fall asleep in a minute.
Yep. And, we should move on, but for the record, I mean,
you're going to get kicked out of the church.
No, but I have told you that, that in my humble
None
opinion.
of this happened in your car, nor
Oh,
were
no,
you
you
driving.
wouldn't do it. But in my humble opinion, if you could picture a world where you stopped doing the devil's lettuce, maybe attended a couple more church services here and there. I know that you pray to Jesus because you've told me about that. That's
He and I talk daily.
That's wonderful. But just
He doesn't mind I smoke. He doesn't. He said to me, he says, as a matter of fact, it clears up the reception between us. I don't know what you want me to say. He just tells me all the time.
You're terrible,
What are you
as
talking
always.
about? It's like fucking putting tinfoil on an antenna. Clears it right up, dude. He knows it. He says to me, he's like, well, I'm glad you're hearing me now.
Well,
And we'll giggle together.
we'll just keep praying for
He's-
Mr. Goodney.
He would not make it so easy for that thing to be here. It's not like cocaine where you gotta cook it, you gotta bleach, you gotta do this. Meth, everything else has to be chemically created. This stuff, all you gotta do is dry it out, set it on fire, and sit near it. You know what I mean? I don't understand. But anyway, he turned water into wine. I'm only using the two things the man put out here for us. And I love them
You
both.
do like your wine as well.
I love wine. I think I'm Greek or Roman or something back from the Game of Thrones because that's all they drank.
So do you do on a nightly basis? Are you a switch like Cabernet one night, Merlot another night, White Pignon or whatever they call it another night? I don't even know.
White Pignon.
What's it called? What's the
Well, you were okay.
in other words, do you
You were okay
change-
when you said wine.
No.
After that, you went
Isn't it
fucking away.
Well,
awry.
no. It's
So there's a Cabernet Sauvignon. That's usually something that you'll find out of mostly
Cabernet, I know
your
Merlot.
California. You know what? I'm not a big Merlot
What's
guy.
the white drink called? Isn't it called Pinot?
There's white. There's a lot of white different.
No,
So there's
but
Pinot Grigios.
Pinot Grigio. That's the one I was trying to think
Yes,
of.
because we usually when we go out to do our shows together,
Right.
I will grab some wine, and you'll be like, "Oh, I'll try some of that." You're like
Yeah.
a teenage girl from
But
high
do you
school.
rotate it? Was what I'm saying, or are you partial to just one flavor now? Because you used to.
Oh
rotate
no,
it.
I have a lot of different. So I will change usually between a Chianti and a Malbec and a Cabernet and maybe a Super Tuscan or a Sangiovese. I probably mispronounced that last one, but yeah, no, I like a lot of different red wines. I do not like Merlots. I don't know why. But all the other stuff, yeah, I just drink it. And I remember the time I saw you one time on a couple of Twisted Teas.
Twisted Teas.
I'll never forget the first time I saw you drink ever. It was at Jerry Matt's. No, I'm sorry. It was at the Orsi's family party that I bartended.
You were a DJ. I do a couple beers.
I was DJing and bartending, and you were out there. I think that you had a couple of Smirnoffs, and you were just. I think you fell in the pool.
Oh,
I would love
another
to-
great
you're
Goodney story.
You're a big, tall ass, so I've always wanted to see you fall. into
Now
the
I'm
pool.
falling in the pool.
Falling. Ah! Because you
So-
got that Ray Romano voice,
I do.
especially when you're all stuffed up here.
I do. Stuff
Get
up
some
with
of
the
my
smoke.
get some of my
No,
patchouli.
that stuff is killing me. So
It's patchouli.
what is the wine? Because I went out with Lovey. I had a wine that was sweet, and I thought it was too sweet because I don't really like really sweet. But then I had one another time that had like a bitter aftertaste, and I said to myself, why would someone want to enjoy this?
So first of all, your palate is different depending upon, and it might not have been a great wine. I mean, I know how much you like to spend on these things.
It was $8.50 a glass.
So the problem with wine is if you open a bottle, first of all, a bottle tastes best after about a half hour or so of it being open.
Really?
Yet, after
Breathing.
X amount of hours, it turns to vinegar. It's fucking gross. And it can give you heartburn, it can taste like shit, and it can ruin the entire
So
experience.
leave it
for you.
open for a half hour.
You should, but you're not gonna but sometimes you can buy like Rex Goliath or you're fucking barefoot out there, and it's just no matter how long it's open or not, it's gonna taste like shit.
Right.
So, but some people like it, and I'm not saying they don't. I think, but if you like wine and you like the taste of wine, and where you haven't even had your palate polluted by marijuana or anything like that,
No.
like you would. I can only imagine. Do you like cheeses? Do you like different cheeses?
Yes.
So
See, cheese is my language.
as you
Right.
eat different types of cheeses, you can taste it like
Yes.
years and stuff like that.
Some of them
Cheddars
are
and
smoked.
the
some
smoke.
of
Some of them
yeah.
like I like a nice gear. Have you ever had a
Mm-hmm.
gear? Oh, it's so good. But that's like stinky feet. But you taste it and stuff like that. So wine's the same way. And when you get into like really good ones, like you can taste like I don't know. You can taste like tree fruit, and you can taste like organics, and you can taste like the earth, terra firma, and you can taste. It's funny, but you can even like taste dirt. You can taste charcoal. You can taste tobacco. You can taste like all these different things depending upon where the wine was, where the grapes were grown, how long they were there, that sort of stuff. I mean, some wineries are just unbelievable. Like even you go out to California. California can have one winery and produce 12 different, 14 different wines, and each one, even though that most of them are from very similar grapes, completely different. I mean, the difference between white wine and red wine is only how long they keep the skins on. So the same grapes that produce a white wine can produce a red wine just as well. It's just different. But I know you and your alcohol.
No, this is great.
When you get into wine, though, I'm not drinking tonight because I'd be shit-faced by the time I'm done with you. But
That's very true.
I mean, it's how I am with most of my guests, so you're welcome. But yeah,
Do you typically drink wine on the show?
yeah, I love wine. I smoke weed sometimes with guests. I'll do whatever. I mean,
But are we gonna?
whatever makes them happy.
So, is your producer gonna take the 35 minutes we spent on weed and wine and maybe whittle it down to like 4 minutes?
Oh no, he's gonna
Then
put
we
the
get
whole thing
back
out. He's just gonna
to
make sure you sound fine.
Fishing.
Listen, we spent about
Rascals.
15, 20 minutes on you and your freaking fish tank out there at the Boxborough Regency.
No, Marlboro, Best Western.
Well, that's where you are
Royal
now.
Plaza Trade Center.
because you've grown. How many years is that there now?
This is the second one next
This is the
weekend.
second?
I shouldn't even be here.
No, you've got to be out there.
should be.
You're from here. The helicopter is waiting on the roof for you.
No, I'm going there Wednesday at noon.
Well, that's
I'm
still
there
2
till
days away, so I don't know why you can't be here.
No, because I got things to do.
You're already late to be here.
This is blitzing.
What about Donna and the other ones?
Yeah, I got time to. It's the week, Chris. It's a stressful week.
And from here, though, you've got 2 others. Or 1 other. How many more you got?
New Hampshire.
New
In
Hampshire.
March.
So is
That's
it the
an
Dome
outdoor
again?
show. In the Dome.
In the Dome.
That is fishing, camping, kayaks, guns, archery, boats.
Guns.
So
Those
New
are
Hampshire,
scary.
yeah, that's a scary word, but
Scary
they
word,
do
guns.
they do like that in New Hampshire.
They like that in a lot of places.
Right.
New Hampshire being one of them.
Yeah, so that's a true outdoor show.
So that's your outdoor show. So right now, New England Fishing Expo
Is fishing.
is the one in Marlboro.
It's fishing.
And then you've got your
New
fishing
Hampshire
New Hampshire
Outdoor Expo.
Expo.
Yep. in
And that's it
March,
this year.
In the Dome. March 7th.
Are you doing
through
2
the
or 3
9th.
shows this year?
Just 2.
Just 2 this year? Okay.
I dropped the swim bait one because
Okay.
the market didn't really demand a separate standalone swim bait show any longer because what I did is I took the cream of the crop in the swim bait world
Yep.
and I invited them to the New England Fishing Expo. So they just kind of morphed into the big show in Marlboro.
Yeah.
So makes a lot more business sense. Why rent another venue, have a different date for a smaller market segment.
No, like I said, I've watched the model for years, and I think it's done great. I think you've done great. The only question I have is when we're going to go out and fish and do a couple more shows again. I think it's time we go back out.
You want to bring the Go Fish Dan YouTube?
I think we bring it back.
I can.
I could throw it on this too. We get
It's
2
simple.
channels to do this stuff.
Right.
We have some good times. I mean, let's talk about it. You ready? You ready? We bring up 2 of the biggest
Which
between Wheaton Lodge
Patrick has
Patrick
been a great guest.
and
'Cause
Twin Maple Outdoors.
Rich, great guy. Both great guys.
Both great people. We go up there.
Completely different though.
Completely different. There's
Like
an
just like how
understatement.
you and I.
There's an
No,
understatement.
seriously, just thinking about that. We
Yes, you're a lot more like Rich. I'm a lot more like Patrick.
exactly.
It just dawned on you.
It
this
just dawned
moment,
on
didn't
me.
It is exactly.
I don't know
that.
if I like that.
I know you don't. I know you don't.
But
Will they both be there this weekend?
They'll both be there.
All
Two great registered Maine guides.
Yeah.
That we've been able to spend time with.
So, Richard, Twin Maple Outdoors,
Correct.
up in the Bangor,
Bradford. Yeah,
Bradford.
He's like 30 miles from Bangor.
All right, so Bradford area right there.
Yep.
Everything. He'll do everything.
Oh yeah.
He'll take you out on a boat. He'll put you camping up. He'll let you find. We've never seen moose
Ice
with him.
fishing?
Never seen moose with him.
No, but he does run
Ice
moose
fishing.
safaris.
He does deer.
Maybe they're simulated, but he does do maybe
At this point, I would put just up a fucking projector and a moose
in the lodge.
Because every time he's like, prime moose area. Never seen him fucking moose.
No.
Not once.
But
But he has pictures of everybody else that he takes out fucking seeing me. Moose.
Yes.
Meese.
but he could do a moose safari.
He could do a moose safari.
and if it's
or a moose-
unsuccessful,
or a moose
you
list.
could bring him back to the lodge.
If I were him, if I was going to do a moose safari,
Right.
I would actually bring chocolate mousse on the trip so that no matter what, I can say it was a moose safari.
Right.
Because otherwise, like I said, he's not once.
I love Rich, but just talking about this because he has seen moose and he said
got up there how many
there's a
years?
billion moose in Maine.
So many moose.
But
not one.
think about it, marketing wise, right? This is something that we can talk to about this weekend at the expo.
I'm looking forward to it.
He's got the lodge, right? I was starting to go
Gorgeous
down
lodge.
the road of the simulator. He could
Gorgeous
do that,
lodge.
like show the videos of the
Dude,
moose.
VR headsets.
No, check this out. In this day and age, like the fishing game, they have deer, they have moose remote controlled. He should have a moose, a complete moose that a taxidermist restores and get it remote controlled so that the head walks by the window of the lodge and then he can tell his
Just
guest, you just
He
saw
goes
your
Walt
moose.
Disney.
Yeah,
He
you
goes
just saw-
100% Walt Disney on him.
You saw your moose.
Walks by the window. Fuck.
The sound effect. No, really, think about it. The money to be made if he went down that road. they would always pay because in their mind they saw a moose.
Until they see the
Till
fucking, till they
go
saw
into the
the
woods.
fucking antenna with the blue fucking tooth thing beeping. Like, come on.
I don't
no,
know.
I don't know. I don't know if Richard could pull that off. I love him to death, but I don't think that's his
Yeah.
his forte.
We do.
But
we
has
do
taken
kid
us,
about it, but he's
he
done.
has-
Yeah,
he
he's a
has-
great guide.
dude. We have some unbelievable.
Great times.
How about the shooting?
Bird shooting pheasants.
He goes, I'm a registered guide. And he goes, all right, guys, block your ears. The bird is where the fucking kombucha is. And he goes, and you hear it. Pow! And then you see the bird flies off. I fall out of the car. I fell out of the fucking truck. I fell out of the truck. And then there was the other time. He shoots the bird. The bird looks at him like it's pissed off and then flies away. I've never seen anyone miss two birds.
Junior is fully trained in resuscitation and CPR and the whole thing, right?
He's a full-time, he's a firefighter.
So you can
paramedic.
call him if I do go over.
I should get it. I should definitely get an EA. What are those machines in here?
That
Was
that
still one of the
story,
fun. I cried.
one of the funniest things ever.
I fell out of the truck. I fell out of the fucking truck. I will never forget it. He goes, I got this, guys. Block your ears.
I'm banging the dashboard like this with my hand.
And now you hear him. You go, you waiting to hear him go, oh, I got him. He goes, and then you just see it. There goes the bird. How the fuck you miss that?
20,
And then
20 yards.
And then he's like, okay, hold on. Shoots again. The bird goes,
It ducked.
and just flies away looking at him like, what an asshole. And he's like, what are the chances? What are the chances that you miss from 3 feet and then from 9? I don't know. I don't fucking know. But we're not putting that in the commercial.
No. The best thing. The best thing.
He's the best Peter fucking Buster there is.
So he missed the pheasant close. That was great. But for me, what the killer was, and again, it's all a visual thing, so it's not funny to everybody. But the killer for me was, I see this bird up in the tree, and he takes a shot, and I see like one feather go, and the bird goes, like you said, just flies away.
The bird looked at him with an attitude.
I see this feather coming down, and the next thing you know, you're laying on the ground outside of the truck in the road.
I couldn't breathe. I could not
on the
breathe.
logging road.
I've never laughed that hard in my life.
Me neither. I think that's one of my that's probably my top, maybe not, top threes.
And if I'm not mistaken, it was at the end of we went.
We were tired. I'm snorting right now. I was just laughing thinking about it.
Yeah, because then we went to go film a thing about the disc, the fire.
The fire disc,
and there was no propane.
Right.
Oh no, it was not. There was no propane. We couldn't get the propane attachment off because we had no tools. We had 0 tools in the truck. We drove 2.5 hours to not be able to film a fucking thing because we couldn't get the.
I'm trying to recover.
We couldn't get the fucking nozzle.
He left his
off.
tool bag in
He
the
left
garage.
the tool bag in the garage. And then we finish it off with, hold on, guys.
But, yeah.
That was, so.
But we really
Let's
busted
not go
him
back.
back.
Let's not go.
We busted him so bad.
No, I know. I felt bad.
Because he...
Do you remember the first year?
He's so much better now.
He's a good guy.
We do need to let the people know that he did become a registered Maine guide.
No, first of all.
And everybody
he'll
starts
take
off...
great care of you.
No, but everybody starts off, they're a little bumpy. Like
You and I are
learning
not
curve.
the easiest people to take on.
So we got him early when he first started.
Remember the first year?
Yeah.
Remember when we went
So
out?
these stories, he's like a little bit green.
He's
nervous.
He had the new...
Now he's good. I'm sure he's
doing great.
Yeah, he's doing great.
He's
not missing birds anymore.
He can always put you on fish.
Right.
He can always help you find a deer. He can.
Can he find a moose still?
Moose. He's never helped us with the moose, but he has a lot of people in his fucking scrapbook.
I bet you he doesn't miss birds anymore, though.
I don't. I hope not from 3 feet.
No.
At that point, just throw your shoe.
Yeah.
Fuck the gun.
Great guy, though.
Oh, God, he was so much funny.
So much fun.
So much fun and so funny.
And we were talking about Patrick. Totally different than Patrick.
Patrick, what's funny is Patrick knew I smoked pot. You didn't.
No, Patrick did. But Patrick is a good
Patrick's
old boy
the one that caught
from Maine.
me.
Yeah. Way up there in Maine.
And he's got some lakes.
23 people in the town, literally.
That's Spednick Lake.
Yeah.
I've never seen water like that. I've never seen driftwood coves like I did up there.
Yeah.
I've never
feet
seen
down.
smallies like that. They fought so good. They
You can see the bottom of the. I mean,
so gorgeous up there.
for us, Quabbin is similar to that.
As close as I think you can get to it. Yeah.
As close as you can
I'll
get
give it
to
that. I'll give it that.
But,
it's
but
close.
it's just the clearest water that
and of
I've
course,
seen.
that was like the first time I ever realized what an American plan was, where you go up and they take care of all 3 meals.
Yeah.
You just pay for the place. But no, I mean, they have Wi-Fi if you want it, but like the cabin's got no TV. It's just a fireplace. How many nights did we sit there just having a couple of nice beers or whatever next to that
Next to the wood
piping
stove.
hot? Oh,
Yeah.
Still, I think some of our best stories are Colden on the water.
Coming
Didn't sh-
back in.
Didn't shoot a great show, but sat by that fire, laughed our asses
Yeah.
off, had great meals.
Yeah.
Moose Burger. First moose
Yeah.
burger we ever had was from Richard up at Twin Maple Outdoors.
Correct.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it wasn't your first moose burger. It was my first moose burger.
Yeah. That was a good one.
And then everything up at
Patrick's Wheaton Sandy does
Wheaton.
such a great job in the kitchen.
the food's great. The food's great, but the place up there is just you're set back. I mean,
yeah. And if you can
in the woods.
if you can go to Wheaton's Lodge, so that they're different, right? So Rich is
you got to rent him for the weekend.
Yeah, and you'll get meals and you'll get good food and but the American plan that you spoke of is you get 3 meals a day, breakfast and dinner at the camp, and your lunch can be a shoreside lunch that they cook for you, or it could just be a sandwich.
That is actually one of the best things.
Right,
that
so-
was one of the best things.
So
about
that
Wheaton.
American plan is really
You take out it.
Cool.
If you take out, if you go out, like we filmed that. I don't even know how many times.
no
That was just the best. You're on the side. You're on an island.
steak.
You're on an island. He builds a fire.
Yeah,
The cowboy coffee there.
steak, potatoes. He did the steak with like the mushrooms and onions and the
Dude,
whole
he's done
nine,
the
all
pork
in the
chops,
sauteed
the
and
chicken, everything he's done out there. Just it's
Over the
so
fire.
good. It's always so good, and it's on an island. It's quiet as shit. You know, no one's been there since forever.
And I think that it takes a good amount of talent to cook over a fire
Oh, it does. I do.
because
I think so. Yeah.
everything comes out perfect.
It was good. Yeah, it's very good stuff. I just think anybody who's out there who's looking to take their kids somewhere just to go away, either one of those places, Twin Maple Outdoors or Wheaton Lodge.
Yeah, but where I was going with the thought about the meals,
5 hours, 1-7.
Well, also the meals. So you get 2 different packages, but Rich has the nice pristine lodge, big flat screen TV, really
Rich
nice.
gives you the opportunity to do it by yourself.
Right. And
Whereas when you go up to
Patrick is-
Wheaton, it's a
more rustic.
it's a camp.
Yeah, it's
It's a camp with multiple cabins and stuff like that. Whereas Rich has, and then you go down to God, what was his name down in Pensacola? I know I'm gonna give you this because I just saw it. I want to say it starts with a W too. His boat was so fucking cool.
Wayne?
Yeah, Wayne. What was it? Wayne. Yeah, but wasn't? Yeah, damn it. But that was fun down there in the coast,
Well,
in the Gulf Coast.
We did Cleat, nice Florida name. Cleat had the
Cleat.
place in Steenhatchee. Is
Yeah.
that what you're talking about?
No, the other one at Pensacola, the one we stayed on the boat.
Wayne.
Wave Cutters. Wave Cutters is the name of his.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh,
See, I
boy.
smoke pot and we have the same mind. So,
No.
well, yeah.
Yeah, I'll come to that because I thought
But
you were
Wave
talking-
Cutters, yeah.
Scott was in the Keys.
That was the first time we ever had triggerfish.
Yeah, Scott was in the Keys.
Oh, Scott, down in the
Wayne,
Keys.
yeah,
Worst
Scott.
sunburn I ever got.
Scott Doherty in the Keys.
Scott Doherty in the Keys with Freedom Fighters.
Yep. Wayne Lomas is in Ohio.
Those
and-
two were
and he
together,
goes to
yeah.
Florida.
Those two were together. Saw manatees for the first
Weaver.
time.
Joe,
Scott.
Joe Weaver.
Joe Weaver. Yep. I think it's Joe Weaver.
That
yeah.
was the name on
Wave
Pensacola
cutters,
guy.
yep.
And then Scott, the other Scott up in Ormond Beach, by Daytona.
Yes.
Because we did a whole we did Louisiana, Mississippi, down the Florida coast on the Gulf of America.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh no,
Newly known.
it's Gulf of Mexico, but
Newly
Gulf of
known
America.
as the Gulf of America.
But we fished in Gulf of Mexico / America. Why don't we just call it hyphen?
We'll
now?
call it hyphen. We'll slash it.
Let's slash it. But we did that, and then we
Mexicana.
went down and around, down to the Keys, and then we came up the East Coast.
Mm-hmm.
We jaunted into Orlando Central, and then up to Daytona. And
That was the
Ormond
first
Beach.
time I ever saw a peacock bass.
That was a huge trip. That
How
was
to-
awesome.
that was a
10
great trip.
days,
Yeah, it
11
was-
days.
Yeah, we were gone for a while. That was a great
Yeah.
ride. That was a
Yeah.
great trip.
And Scott runs the Tomoka Outpost
Mm-hmm.
State Park, but he has a.
Oh, the snapper.
It's like
that
a
was the time I was
store.
young.
Yeah, it's like a store inside the state park that they operate and run,
Yep.
which is pretty cool.
Yeah, those were those were some great times. Honest to God. That's why maybe it's time to break that off again. We'll go do it again
Okay.
for a little while. Stay up north. I can pay for my trips now. From line dancing. I'll go down there and teach. That's what we'll do. We'll do line dancing and fishing.
Yeah, you've done pretty well for
We can
yourself.
go a lot of places and go line dancing and fishing. I'll teach line dancing and you can show people how to fish.
I think I can do that.
You can.
I think my fishing game has improved over the years,
It has. You're not nearly as nervous as you used
but
to be.
I can never line dance. Oh,
Yeah, you can. Come on there, Lurch.
Lovey will tell you I'm horrible. My wife,
I've seen you with a couple of
No, she can dance.
can't you? Oh, I would assume so.
Yeah, I'm terrible.
How
I've
did you-
tried.
how did you? She's such a great woman.
Yeah, she
You
puts
can't
up with
dance.
me.
She puts up with you, but she loves you.
She does.
I listen. I had to play that out the first few times, like walking into that. You know, like here we are. You're on these trips. We're gonna go film shit, and we're not gonna make any money doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're just going to film. You're like going away with the guys, and she's like, "Okay, honey, I love you. Bye bye." And you're like, "I love you too." And I'm walking out. Like, I just fought with mine for fucking 3 hours before we got to leave. The whole ride, we're sitting there I'm dealing with text messages. You're like,
What are you doing?
Yeah, you're like, what are you doing? I'm like, shut the fuck up, Dan. Not everybody's in love.
I remember you'd be fighting
Oh,
for
every fucking time
4
I took
hours on the phone. I
sometimes
was
it
like,
was
why?
bad.
Why would you do that?
Yeah, and then he's just like, "I love you, and we love Jesus, and we go to church, and we're just." I'm like, "Fuck, I gotta go to church, find a girl that fucking lets me go fishing."
That's the key.
That's what it is. You got to go to church to find a girl who'll let you go fishing
Yep.
on the weekends.
Yep.
There it is.
That's been the key.
Yeah,
Yeah, because that's true.
she's great. Because we go back to the story that actually made you spit your water out. I didn't finish it.
No,
Because I was just like, I've never seen anything like it in my life. Never seen anything like it in my life. Fucking guy. Could have punched you in the face. I got to tell it. So we're there. We're getting ready to leave a trip. And when we go, we have a ton of stuff. We have
pack the truck.
packed the truck. The truck's got snacks. It's got what we're drinking. It's got all the camera equipment. All the
audios.
audio equipment. Clothes.
Quadruple
everything.
checked by me.
Yeah. Oh God. Every day we just sit there like 2 hours.
Bring the headphones.
Bring
Did
the
you bring the
headphones?
mic?
Do you have
Did you bring the batteries?
Do you have SD cards? Are there
There 35 SD cards in
How
case 34 of them are bad.
Listen, we could get somewhere, and 85 SD cards could be bad. So do you have 86? No, Dan, I don't.
Let's
how
stop
do you
at
know
the
all the
farms.
batteries are good? Because they're still in the package. Sometimes you get batteries that are in
They're
packages.
bad.
They're
They
not
could be
good.
bad.
And you'd be like, what the fuck? Anyway, so we got all this stuff
That
loaded.
part of it, I understand why you smoked.
Yeah, I couldn't handle you. I couldn't. I'd be like, oh my
But I
God.
like a backup to the backup.
You had we did. We had backup camera. We had
Backup
backup bag.
cameras, backup
We had
mics.
backup bag. The whole thing. We're trailing a trailer for
With backups.
for a day of shooting, and I'll never forget. There was just a piece of paper on your dashboard, and you rolled down you took the piece of paper, you crumpled it up, you rolled down your window, and you threw it out the window, and you're like, "Lovey, you get that?" And she goes over and grabs the piece of paper. I'm like, is that gonna fuck up our mileage per gallon? Like, why did that piece of paper have to be tossed out the window?
It was trash.
And
We have
then
trash.
Levy's
we
gotta
have
get
a
it.
trash kid in the
From that
house.
point, from that point on, I knew how bad I could fuck with you on a given basis.
Right.
Like everything. I just fucked with you daily.
That was a great story because she
pissed my
came
pants on
out, she got the paper.
She's
She
saying
put it in the
goodbye
trash.
to you. She's
Yeah.
so sweet. She's like, bye, honey. I love you. Have a
Oh,
great
no
trip.
problem.
And you're like,
It,
hey, baby.
Yeah.
Grab that. Didn't hand it to her out the fucking window.
up.
Just, you crumpled it up. You tossed it out. And I'm looking at him going, I can't find a girl that will fucking
but
kiss
you
me goodbye.
realized-
This guy tosses a freaking piece of paper out the window.
but that's when you and that's what I'm saying. You realize
Oh,
then
yeah,
and
because
there,
any girl
4
I was
hours on the
would have
road, you're
stabbed me in the
yellow.
neck
Yeah.
for that shit.
You're like, how does that even happen?
Right. I got to fight for 4 hours. You got her picking it up. I don't know. Maybe she was just like, thank fucking God he's gone. I don't know, but
You fell into a slight depression.
those depressions would last. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse than fighting with someone while you're gone.
Yeah.
It was a pain in the ass. I managed. I was fine. Still made some of the best shows you ever had.
We
It had
did.
nothing to do with whether or not you caught fish.
No.
It never
We
did.
had a lot of fun.
We had so much fun. That's why we got to do it again, I think. I think we got to go back out.
I'm okay with
You've
that.
got the big boat now. You've got a lot going on.
Oh,
You got
yeah.
yourself your own boat. I've heard you built yourself your own, what's it called there? What do you got it out there in Leicester?
I mean,
It's a boat
I
shed?
call it a boat barn.
Call it the boat barn?
Well,
The BB?
No, but speaking about loving.
I have not been invited, by the way.
Oh, you'll be invited.
He's full
True
of shit.
story. It is called the boat barn, and not necessarily that it's a barn where you milk cows or keep horses, but I just thought boat barn sounded nice because the alternative was man cave. I didn't want to call it a man cave
because I
spent an awful lot of money on this boat barn. If I called it a man cave, Lovey and her friends may feel they're not welcome. But if I call it the boat barn, females are welcome.
But they're
We're
just not
gonna
going
have
to
a
come
great
anyway.
time.
They're just not going to come anyway.
But the name was strategic.
Now you've released this.
Yes.
People know this information.
Well, hey, if you're going to build one, don't call it a man cave.
Don't call it a man cave. You're right.
Because
They will want a corner of it.
Yes.
But if it's a boat barn,
Just
it's the barn
all
with the
are
boat.
welcome.
Honey, how come it's got a TV? It's a boat barn, honey.
Yep.
How come it's got a fireplace? Baby,
Yep.
boat barn.
You want to have your friends over? No problem.
Yep. Come on. Everybody can come out to the boat barn.
Yep.
Ladies, it's kind of cold out there. And we don't have anything you drink. and there's some cursing.
And there's a boat in there.
And there's a boat that we're just going to, at any point in time, rev up.
Just for fun.
Just to inhale the exhaust.
Yeah. And a wood stove.
I heard
You
the
gotta
wood
come
stove.
out.
I've heard, well, your brother-in-law, Mike, and I are pretty close. We
Yeah.
see each other weekly. And he told me, he said, yeah.
It's quite the boat barn.
He says, Hillcrest is taking a hit
Yeah.
since you've built the boat barn.
Yeah.
Hillcrest, Ellers,
Bringing the
Bobbers.
boys.
Yeah, everybody's just not, they're not going out anymore. They're hanging out at your boat barn.
I haven't even set up the grill yet.
Oh!
That's in the spring.
There's a fucking grill going in this bitch?
In the spring.
Oh,
No,
we're
no,
gonna-
outside.
What kind? You going to get one of them black tops?
No.
What are those things called? Black stones?
No.
What are you going
No.
to get? A Weber? Green egg?
Probably just a Weber.
Green egg.
But I think nowadays you got to be careful because the name is,
Do you know what I got?
What?
I got a pellet smoker.
That's good.
Super good. Because you can use it as a grill too.
Yeah.
That's wicked because you just use pellets. So you can get like cherry, you can get different flavors of wood.
But it's the time thing. Right? Doesn't it take a lot of time?
Well, it's both a grill and a smoker. So you could smoke it for the 6 to 8 to 10 hours, or you could smoke it for a few and then crank the bitch up.
And you only
cook
got
it.
that because the name smoke is in the product
Oh
description.
God, yeah. Yeah.
So that's why I would prefer probably just, the propane tank and turn it on and then cook.
Well, then you just fucking keep doing that, you Neanderthal.
Yeah, hey.
Smoke
comes
is
out
the
good.
way to go.
I like smoked, but I don't know. I think I'll just go with a regular gas grill. Because if you just want a quick burger or steak or chicken or whatever, boom.
That's what's wrong with you people. It's
I
all
don't know.
right.
It's easy.
Yeah, no, it's great. Just pump it full of
I don't want to
chemicals.
put bags of pellets and wait for them
You
to
you are.
smolder.
You're very lazy.
Yeah.
Usually when you're hungry, you're ready to go.
I'm ready to go.
By the time you're hungry, you've already passed the time where it starts to cook. So you can't
Hangry.
take. You do get very hangry, and for a tall guy, you slouch like you.
I'm angry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are you expecting this weekend? You got a big weekend this weekend.
I mean, if the weather cooperates,
Which it should. Well, hold on. Let's take a
I
look.
hope. No, I don't like that.
You don't have to. I'm gonna look.
I'm
'Cause
kind of against looking at the
if
weather.
it kind of sucks, I'm not going. Hold on.
But
Holy shit!
you're gonna come over on Friday, aren't you?
Going over where on Friday? I'm gonna stop out Friday.
Yeah,
I gotta be here though.
visit. No, but Friday during the day.
Dude, you got a perfect weekend. Perfect weekend.
I don't let my staff tell me anything about the weather. That's like a no-no. They know that about me.
I think staff has to work for you more than 3 days a year.
Right. Right. So we will, if we reintroduce the Go Fish Dan show, you'll become staff again.
Oh, I was almost gonna wear I still have the original shirt, you know.
But you will be coming
I
out
still have the original shirt from the first expo you did.
Yeah.
It was one of my favorites.
You'll get one on Friday if you come out.
What color is it this year?
Blue.
What kind of
You
blue?
don't like blue?
Is that royal blue
It's
you
royal
bring?
blue.
Ah, Jesus! I
You don't-
told you about that royal
You don't
blue.
like the royal
it
blue?
looks stupid.
Oh, what color should I go to next year?
I know navy blue. If you're gonna do a blue,
I did navy with the swim bait one.
well, that's gone. So now you can put that color back in rotation.
Make New England Fishing Expo navy blue. Next year's shirts.
Yeah, navy blue or something like. So what are the New Hampshire ones?
Oh, green. It's New
So
Hampshire.
then wait a minute. You still have black to choose from, gray to choose
No,
from.
New Hampshire is the New Hampshire colors. I did that. It's the green and the yellow, like on the New Hampshire
Yeah, like-
EPOs.
Yeah,
the
it's like
states, the
I call
seal.
it mold and mustard.
Right.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I can go to Navy next year for the staff
No,
shirts.
what about black? Why wouldn't you go black? Everybody likes a black shirt.
I don't know. I like blue.
I think from a guy that comes from a marketing background.
I've always been partial to blue. The royal blue is pretty vibrant.
Of course it's vibrant. And it usually sits on shelves for a long time.
Yeah, but I think the staff feels like a little bit more warm and fuzzy wearing the
Do
royal
they?
blue.
Yeah. Was this discussed in the
Yeah, in the staff
in the
meeting.
staff meetings in the yeah, I bet. I know how.
You can get a staff shirt if you come over Friday. It helps set up the seminar stage.
Bullshit. You've been asking me to set up I've been setting up shit for years out there. Baloney.
Ben did it himself.
Yeah, because he knows better.
Yeah.
He doesn't even want to ask for your help.
Well,
Because he's like, you know what? I remember when my dad used to ask everybody for help. I don't want to put my friends through that, so he just did it. I don't think he has.
I actually don't even know if he did it.
Are there setups that as elaborate? Because like you got the fish tank,
yeah, we got the stage,
you got
archery,
the stage, the archery,
trout pond for the kids.
Yeah, you got like a lot.
The archery is and it is a fishing show, but it's an outdoor
It's important.
activity that the kids like to come and do, and it's free. So
I think
that's-
it's important mainly because it is just such a. It's sometimes becoming a lost art,
yeah.
archery, and I mean, if you think about it, like
It's fun. They enjoy themselves. The kids can do it, and the parents actually
they all have fun.
you can catch trout
I got
for
myself
free, and then you do the archery.
got myself right down the fucking
Wow,
floor.
they have a guy there showing you how not to do
I'm
that.
just a puss. I know what happened. I don't know what I'm doing, and I fucking grabbed one, and next thing I know, I'm like,
Was that dry fired, or you did it with an arrow?
I didn't do it with an arrow. I just dry fired it.
Yeah, that hurts.
Yeah, it burnt the shit out of me. It gave me a big old fucking rug burn. Like,
So let's talk about a couple seconds. This studio, first of all, is remarkable. You've done a
thank
really
you.
nice job in here.
just getting
looking around.
started out here. Jay and I do a good job down here.
So the Goodtimes with Goodney
Mm-hmm.
in this studio podcast, does it stream on anything yet?
Right now, we're just on YouTube. Which, by the way, while you're watching this, don't hesitate to subscribe, share, like, love, comment. Do
Wait,
what you want.
this is live on YouTube right now?
No, but it will be on live. It's live when you see it.
Right.
You know,
So you're posting it to YouTube.
I put it out on YouTube. Yes.
Is your channel monetized yet?
No, I don't want them to be able to take anything from me.
No.
I think the 7 views, 8 views. I don't think it's going to get me much anyway. I think they sent me a. Empty.
10.99.
They sent me an empty can. They said, "Hey, by the way, do you
No,
want
but
the-"
you could get to that. Is my
No,
point.
you could. Listen, I could
on
say
YouTube.
I could blow right up.
Yeah. Good Times with Goodney on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to subscribe. I don't even know
What
that
was
I
the
do.
last? That reminds me because the first one of the first YouTube channels I ever had was Go Fish with Dan.
Can I look
What? Yeah.
in real time?
No.
And just see if
No, you have to wait till next time.
Richard send me a message.
Because he knows we're on. He knows we're talking about him.
I guess so. But I am going to go to the good old YouTube, and because I would like to support my friends, I
You do.
actually,
You always support me. You're always good.
So it's Good Times with Goodney.
You can just do Good Time Studios. It'll pull it up.
Let me see.
I don't want anybody to be confused with that dead air.
No.
Jesus Christ.
Soundscape presents Good Stuff intro. All right. Good Time Studio.
There it is. Yeah.
Is that it right there?
That's good stuff. I don't know what the fuck that is.
No, that's right there.
No.
It says Good Time Studio.
Good time is one word, I hope.
I put a space in there.
I know that. Most people do.
So let me try this again. Good Time Studio.
Yeah. Is
Good Times with
Is that
Goodney.
Ben's Tackle Shack with 2 ends? There it is.
Yeah.
If you can't tell, that's me.
Yep.
That was me as Santa. Yeah.
Good
I was
time.
helping out. I got hired. I got tapped on the shoulder by the big guy. He said, "Hey, Goodney." Ho, 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 Chris.
There.
I need you to be.
I just subscribed. I gave you the thumbs up, and I'm even doing notifications.
Oh, my God.
Well,
Dude, you're going to just.
don't you want me to know when you're posting something?
I want you to know every time something goes out.
Notifications, all. So I'm in. I got all notifications.
People are going crazy right
just
now watching you
subscribed.
subscribe. Look at that.
I may even just share it out on my social channels.
Get out of town.
Yep.
Listen, maybe you'll use it this weekend when you're out there with all your buddies, because I know you guys know how to rip it up out there.
Years ago, if I would have shared this approximately 5 years ago, back when I was still a little bit famous, you might have picked up
We were
35, 45 new subscribers.
We were
just
doing
now.
good there for a while.
Yeah.
We were having fun.
But I'll still share it out now. You might get 5 or 6. It's playing in the background.
It doesn't matter to me, buddy.
But it is.
I do this so I can sit here and just reminisce, and that someday maybe
great.
my great-great-grandchildren be like, "That's my papa.
Yeah,
maybe.
it is.
That's my papa."
Yep.
Because that's what I'm going to go. The further they go out. So papa is grandpa. Papa. It's going to be great-grandpa. Papa.
And now
It's
you
gonna
have
be
2 or
great-great.
3?
I have.
Tyler's got 3.
I currently have 4 grandchildren.
4.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's good for you.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and congratulations to Tyler. Shout out Marlboro PD. I have
Westboro.
a friend. Huh?
Westboro? Marlboro? What are you talking about?
Didn't he become a cop over there?
He's out in one of the boroughs right now. I think he's waiting to hear back, but
I
heard it was either Westboro.
Nope. I talked to a.
You heard Marlboro?
I heard Marlboro.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Did you? Yeah. Christopher
But Chris
in
is in
Northboro.
Northboro Fire Department.
Christopher's in Northboro
Tyler's
as a
gonna be
firefighter.
cop. Well, okay, so he's not placed yet, but he's gonna be a man in blue, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, he's going to school for it right now. He's going through the academy.
That's good.
Yeah. I mean,
don't
I'm
think
happy
so?
for
Yeah.
him. I mean,
Hey.
if you had to ask me what professions I'd like to go in, neither one of them start with fire or police. But I'm amazed at their bravery.
No, we love the first responders.
We do.
In fact, if you came to the boat barn, I have a PD flag hanging on the outside and on the inside.
So one of the things we have at Rascals is from the DJ booth out,
Yeah.
go all of the arms of our military services, and then as well as our police,
Right.
fire, EMS,
Love 'em.
dispatch. Yeah.
Love them.
I mean, I always say, I always, even every Friday night I play the national anthem.
Yeah.
And I say to all those people who go running in when my ass is running out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's it. That's
We've
what they
just-
get paid to do. They
Yeah.
get paid and trained, and that's what they want to do. They want to go save people's lives. And I mean, if I have to,
Yeah.
I will. I just don't want to put anybody's life in my
No,
hands.
but it's a good thing because,
I was surprised
let's-
they let me have children.
well, yes, but we're talking about these things that we've done, entrepreneurialism, you know.
we talked about this.
Some of our business models have worked, some haven't,
Some of-
but we
Right.
persevered. No, seriously, both of us have persevered, and we've been, relatively successful with what we're doing on our own,
Mm-hmm.
working for ourselves. but I do admire, not only because it's PD or FD and these young men are starting off in a career, but I've always thought if I was going to go back in time, I would want to do something where you can put in 25 years, retire with a great pension. So that part of it makes perfect sense, because they're gonna retire with a great pension.
Yeah.
Get money. You can pick up part-time gigs
Gotta
here and
get
there
there
as you
first.
get older. You got to get there, but still, for the stability of that, it's worth it versus going from job to job.
It's better
to
than,
job.
I would agree that, I mean, at the end of the day, at least you did something.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You saved some lives, you helped some people, you
Right.
did some, I mean, and I'm not downgrading anybody that does anything for a living. You know, we all got to get through this thing together. I just feel like some
I thought
people
you were
don't
going to go
live.
right into Prince, like we all got to get through this thing
I
called
know,
life. I thought you were going to start.
Right? Dude, I love Prince.
Is that where you're going with that?
No, it's this thing now called life.
Why did he have to die? Such a brilliant artist.
Did he die? Did they kill him? I mean, let's face it.
I don't know.
They have a tendency to kill people. They do have a tendency to kill people.
Wow.
Speaking of which, as we speak, like the the Robert Kennedy stuff, the John Kennedy stuff,
released.
the MLK stuff,
All released.
all supposed to be released. And I mean,
Right.
not that anybody will read it. You'll have to wait till somebody surmises it for you.
No, I think Prince. So he started off with dabbling in the devil's lettuce.
I don't think. Shut up.
And then it
Here,
led
you
to-
ready? I got one for you.
It led
I
to-
got one for you.
It led to other things.
I got one for you that I think is not even broken yet as far as conspiracy theories. Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Do you think he was a diddler? No, he's definitely. Well, I don't know if anybody that they say is dead. But let me ask you a question. Do you think he was really a diddler?
No.
You know what's funny? I don't either.
No, I think he was.
I think they, once again, this is what I say.
Yeah.
Ready? Tell me one other pedophile that Hollywood outed.
P. Diddy recently.
They didn't out him.
Who did?
That was the FBI going after him.
Right.
But when Michael Jackson got outed, Hollywood's the one that outed him. Remember, it was Macaulay Culkin. It was, who's that other kid there?
Corey Feldman. Didn't he have some issues?
Corey Feldman. So none of them. It was the. Was it Aaron?
I don't know.
What's his name? His brothers and the other thing. Aaron Carter.
Oh,
Aaron
yeah.
Carter. They've got him on a documentary. He's like, I came home one day. The FBI was talking to my mother, and my mother said, Michael touched you, didn't they? And they're like, no, Michael didn't touch me. And he's like, yeah, no, Michael touched you. And that was where the fucking story came from there.
Yeah.
But I think he lived his life through abuse.
Yeah.
I think he was abused his entire life going
I think
on
he was raised in a family, if you want to look at that whole family, that they had initiative. The parents had a desire and a passion for their children to be famous and themselves too. But I just think he was raised in a very odd structure of a family.
Oh, God,
and I also think that he was in a way like eccentric and all those other things that, he definitely was.
Well, he had more money than God.
Yeah, but even before then, I think he was just so uber talented that he was a freak, so to speak.
Well, he was definitely an outcast.
Yeah, and
At one point, he just became an outcast.
and then that just kept driving him further and further down that road.
I think ever since the time Pepsi fucking burnt his head,
that was bad.
that was bad. That was real bad.
At the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Right?
No, it was a commercial that they were filming.
But it was for the Super Bowl. Why am I-
Probably. Well, he was supposed to be. Yeah, it was that whole campaign that
really
year.
talented. Really
It was him and
sad.
his brothers. They were
Yeah.
all coming out and fucking he catches on
But he
fire.
got on drugs and all that stuff because he couldn't take the heat. Probably.
Well, if you think about what they do to people,
Yeah.
you know what I mean. Once the media has put the crosshairs on you,
Yeah.
I mean, we realize they don't really look for facts anymore. They just fucking go. And they just run with it and see how it goes. And who gives a shit? I mean, I just saw another thing with CNN. CNN's going, is in huge trouble for another freaking story that they put out, And it's just, you see all these media outlets that just keep getting in more and more trouble because they just, they lie and they don't care. There's no accountability anymore. I think it was taken out in like 2008, 2010, where they just said, hey, by the way, you can lie on television.
I mean, I don't even know. Probably longer. So we're finding out a lot of this stuff now, and it's not even like conspiracy theory stuff, and social media plays a part in it. But I think it's been going on almost forever. But what I think transpired is the National Enquirers of the world, when those tabloids came out in Britain, in the U.S., and people realized that they could make a gazillion dollars on making up stuff, right?
No, do you understand how many more stories have been broken out of those tabloids than they have from
TMZ, the magazine?
But they broke more stories than anybody else. So I'll give you an example. You ready?
No, but I'm saying you got to think about that. How long has since when you went to the supermarket when you were a kid and you saw those tabloids? And then it became the new. It transitioned into the news. Is my point?
Well, what did they say?
Where it didn't need to be facts. It just was, what can we do to get ratings, and how can we make more money?
Well, the funny thing about even still back then, the tabloids, even though it was for ratings and it was sensationalized and it was whatever, they broke more real stories.
They did.
So if you go back to, and this was amazing. I saw a documentary on Nixon, Bob Woodward. I'm not a crook. Bob Woodward, who wrote the story for the Washington Journal. Was it the Washington Journal or Washington Post? Either one or two. Do you know how many stories Bob Woodward wrote before that?
300?
None.
Okay.
Not a one. Do you know where Bob Woodward worked before that? For the government. Bob Woodward's first story to the Washington, whatever it was, Examiner, Post, Journal, was that fucking story.
About Nixon?
About Nixon.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that something? What a journalist. Fucking popped it right out, first one right out of the gate. Isn't that interesting? But once again, now there's a situation where Richard Nixon resigned.
I just had a little prayer.
I know you did, because you don't like my mouth. Richard Nixon resigns over things that no one would even talk to the press about today. Like, they don't even care. It wouldn't even bother him.
No.
Like, Nixon got in trouble for, like, a small lie. You know what I mean? These people, lie on a consistent basis.
Yeah. He got in trouble for, like, erasing a few tapes.
Yeah.
That may or may not have
nothing like manufacturing 10 million votes. No. I know they're not manufactured. They just disappeared. They didn't want to vote in this past election. They just didn't want to. They said, I don't want to. They said, you know what? No.
Christopher, you can't alienate
the 10 million people.
You want more
I just want to know who they were. I just want to know who they. Well, I'm kind of hoping the 10 million people who were part of that. I was only here in 2016, never before. I mean, 2020, never here before, never here after.
But you could potentially get dead people to subscribe to your channel,
and that would help. It put a guy in the White House.
They sure did vote.
If dead people can put a guy, if dead people can put a guy in the White House, they can certainly get me monetized on YouTube. But anyway, Dan, it has been a pleasure with you tonight. We have to cut your time short because you didn't get here till late because you had bait showing up.
I did. I had bait.
No, but
showing up at the store.
You're a working man, dude. We've talked about this. You're a hard-working dude out there at Ben's Tackle Shack.
I hustle. You have to.
You do. And you know what? You have a great community that you've started out there. If anybody of my friends and family have never been to Ben's Tackle Shack out in Leicester, you're missing out because this guy knows how to get himself hands on great. You got great stuff out there. You've got all the plastics anyone would need. You've got all the you've even got some eyewear out there that's pretty hot.
Quality products.
You did a great job. And it's funny because in a time when bait shops and stuff like that were all closing up, you decided you know what? I'm just gonna put this picture of Jesus up on the wall and we're gonna go.
Ben and I are gonna go.
And you and your son were like, hey.
And we did.
You've done an unbelievable job. I mean.
And then he got into disc golf.
And we could talk about that that's another whole story in itself.
No, but that's why. So he's not at Ben's.
He watched you do what you did, and that's how he built what he loved. Yours was fishing.
Mine was
His
fishing.
is disc golf.
So I'm still at Ben's.
Yeah.
And although we're still like,
Are you telling
basically
me? Are you
co-owners.
telling me you're looking for a new partner?
No, but because I encourage Ben to chase his dream.
Yeah.
Because he really should. So he found disc golf and he fell in love with that, and now he's doing the expos.
He's done an unbelievable job with that.
I mean, he definitely does a lot for Ben. Still,
He
behind
killed
the
his
scenes.
podcast.
Like tomorrow, he'll be there doing inventory. So he still does a lot of the
Well, he's a
back
working
end
kid.
stuff.
I remember when he was doing music and stuff.
Yeah.
Right? We were going out doing our shows and stuff like that, and he was trying to build. Yeah, he was getting in to try to produce music and stuff like that. He's never shied, and that I think that's one of the things that we both can kind of sit back and be happy with our sons about is that, you know what, they don't shy away from doing what they want to do.
right.
They're not. I don't think we ever have to worry about our kids saying, you know what, I'm just going to do what I can do and wait till retirement.
Right. And Ben has a podcast right now.
I know he does.
Just like this.
That's why I'm saying he probably would laugh at us at our little dinky little freaking podcast.
No, he's got it in his room. He's got
I know. I've seen his stuff. He's been doing it for years, dude. He's just the kid knew better than we did.
Yeah.
And we watched him, and I'm proud of him. And I mean, even just talking to him the other day before he went out to his
disc golf.
the disc golf
It's
expo.
Disc East.
Disc East.
And he's doing one in Dallas.
Yeah, is it
Disc
Disc East?
South, yeah.
Okay. So he's still got a north and a west that he can do.
Correct.
Is that his plan?
Strategic.
Good for him.
Yep.
Good for him. So he calls this one what? North?
This one is Disc East.
Yeah, where else would you put one? On the East Coast.
East Coast. New England.
Maybe Myrtle.
Well, it gives him flexibility too, because he can technically go anywhere.
Yeah, he can always rename this.
Right.
With that, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in here tonight. I've had my longtime friend, and we've got some
like
great.
that.
Isn't that nice? It came with the soundboard.
That's nice too.
My longtime friend, Mr. Dan Kenney, resident of Leicester, co-owner of Ben's Tackle Shack, and the man, the myth, the legend behind the Northeast Fishing Expo and the Outdoor Expo up in New Hampshire. Guys, make sure you check it out. It is this weekend. Dan, anything you want to say to anybody?
It's been a pleasure being on Goodtimes, Goodney on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel, ladies and gentlemen, and don't forget to come down to Rascals for your entertainment and dancing instruction.
God, I love you, Dan. Guys, we'll see you on the next one. Like I said, make sure you smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, have some fun with us, check out what I got going on, all my old friends, and we don't even know what's coming up in the new seasons, but I hope you'll stick around. Thank you all very much. And if you ever want to check yourself out or even do your own podcast, check out Good Time Studios right here in the basement of 70 James Street. God bless each and every one of you. Take care, and we'll see you next time.